How's it going, everybody? So today we're going to be taking a look at a solo execute for every single map in Counter-Strike 2. That way, even if your teammates don't know any utility, you can still get the job done by throwing everything you got in the utility belt. But before we dive into all of that, I want to thank today's sponsor, SkinsMonkey. So, SkinsMonkey is an automated CS2 trading site that provides an instant way for you to get new skins. All you have to do is select your old skins that you don't want anymore and then pick out some fresh ones to trade for. It's as easy as that. And right now you could get a free $5 if you use code TACTICS on the site. And finally, you could get up to a 35% deposit bonus when using my code. So thanks again to SkinsMonkey for sponsoring this video. Links in the description. So now let's go ahead and get started with the A site on Ancient. This is one of my favorite solo executes to do. I'll just go right here into this corner and I'll get a teammate to drop me an extra smoke right here. There's plenty of time for you to beg a teammate to drop you an extra one on your way up here. So generally I'm able to get it done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a simple jump throw just above where this leaf intersects with this vertical line right here. I'm gonna do a simple jump throw, and then right after that one, I'm gonna find this leaf where there's this pointed end right here, this little narrow part, and I'm just gonna do a W jump throw right on that. These two smokes, one of them is going to smoke off CT here to cut off this choke point, and the other is going to land in the front of Donut, completely smoking it off. These are two fantastic smokes, and they're so easy to throw. So one thing to keep in mind is that these smokes take a little bit of time to land. So if you were to sprint, let's say you're going fast and you don't care about the noise you make, you can actually beat these smokes into this position, right? You can go all the way up here, and before this one even lands, you can be out of A main. So that means you have plenty of time to get up here to throw a little bit of extra utility depending on what the situation is. Now, if you're planning on being quiet and not making noise as those smokes are in the air, you can always just come up here and just bomb a flash out of the roof. And then as your teammates are running out, maybe you can come up here and bank a flash off of this position to where it's going to be a nice layered up flash that's going to catch anyone that's actively fighting as your teammates are coming out, right? A lot of people miss the purpose of this flash. Every time I show it off, a lot of people in like TikTok comments will be like, hey, you have so much time to react from this, you're gonna be able to turn, but that's not really the point. The point of it is to break up those early lines of sight and give your teammates space as they're pushing out. If someone has to tuck up and turn from this, well, you can have a teammate get all the way up here to big box before that guy's able to re-peek. Now, ideally, one of your players that are going out early on are just going to bank a Molotov off of this wall to where it's going to land behind sight and completely molly all of this off. Now, obviously, you'd have enough time to get up there and throw it yourself, but in a perfect world, a teammate's going to do that for you, just like this example right here. As you can see, we've mollied off the back sight, the two smokes have landed, and we've gotten a very easy entry. So moving on to Anubis, learning these two pieces of utility is going to up your win rate tenfold on A site. All you have to do is go right here into this corner, and you're going to do a simple jump throw right here at this little intersection on the bricks. That is going to go all the way up here, and that's going to land inside of heaven, just like this, to completely smoke it off. Right after you throw that smoke, you're going to go to the right side of this pot along this line, and you're just going to do a simple jump throw with the molly. And that's going to bank off the bottom here, and that's going to end up being a backside Molotov. So anyone playing behind here is forced out into the open, and anyone in heaven is smoked off. Now, right after I've thrown my smoke and my molly, I'll typically look up here to these three dots, and in the very center, I'm going to do a simple left click with a flash. That's going to pop straight in here, and it's going to full blind anyone that's playing in these positions that didn't get molly. So say someone's on plat, we'll take a look at how much time they have to react from that. Not very much. And if they're on 4-3, it's even better. If they're playing here in this position, well, they're going to get absolutely roasted by it. The best part about it, you can just throw two of these bad boys and just layer them up as your team's pushing out, because the best part about them is the fact that your teammates are not going to get blinded as they're peeking all of these angles. It's only going to blind them once they get out to about here. So as long as you throw them early on, you should have these one-way flashes for your teammates that's going to destroy anyone in these positions. And for another very basic bonus utility set, you can have another teammate come right here into this corner, and they can do a simple left click with a smoke at this dark spot in the dead center of the top of the window. And then they can pull out a molly and just throw it right here where the back of the arch intersects with the front. And just like that, you've smoked off camera and you've mollied off plat. So all of that combined is going to result into something like this, a very easy opening kill on anyone playing backside and an extremely isolated guy towards plat. So when taking B on Dust 2, these two positions are pretty dangerous. So the easiest way to deal with that is to go right here into this corner, and you're going to do a simple jump throw at this top dot, and then another simple jump throw to the left of this larger spot right here. These two smokes are going to go all the way up. One's going to land on the top of window like this, spilling down and smoking off. I was going to land on top of door, spill down, and smoke both of those positions off perfectly. Right after you throw these two smokes, you can very quickly move up into this position, and you can either throw a flash out of the window here, or my personal favorite is going right here into this corner and doing a jump throw at this dark spot right here. That goes all the way up, and it's not going to blind your teammates, but what it will do is get most of backside, and more importantly, it'll get this area along car right here without too much time to react whatsoever. Now, of course, if your teammates want to help themselves out, the first guy out could go right in the middle of this box and do a simple left click at this dot right here. And that's going to pop on the right side here. It's not going to blind him and allow him to push out with it. Another player ideally throws a Molotov at this back side where it's going to bank off and molly anyone out that's playing double right here. So in a perfect world, this is what the execute ends up looking like. You have a couple of blinded players as your teammates are peeking out, and you're able to demolish anyone that's back behind this Molotov. So now let's go ahead and talk about Inferno. The most common way to take the A site is to do a lane push. So let's talk about how we can go about doing that. So generally what I'm going to do is I'm going to get stuck right here into this corner between the mailbox and the wall, and I'm going to throw two smokes. If a teammate will drop me one, of course. If not, I'll typically favor the Moto smoke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim right in the center of this brick right here and just do a simple jump throw. And that is going to be your perfect Moto smoke. It's going to bank off these two walls, and it's going to land right in the center here, having no gaps. From that same exact position, I'm then going to go up from this railing right here to where it intersects with this little piece of the bracket and do a simple left click throw. Shout out to Wraith for this one. It's just a nice arch side smoke that's really high up. That's going to expand all the way down and completely smoke that off, plus the cubby right here. And of course, once I'm finished throwing my two smokes, I'm then going to go along this wall right here, and I'm going to block out half of this light with the wall in this position. I'm then going to do a simple left click throw with a molly up above this divot right here in the roof. And that should pop on the left side, and it's going to molly both under and above patio here, clearing out both of these positions with one single Molotov. So once my porch molly ends up fading out, I'm going to move up here with my teammate. I'm going to throw one of two flashbangs. As they've taken a little bit of space for me, I'm going to either stand right here and do a nice run jump throw at this orange part of the wall. That's going to pop straight out here. It's going to land on the left side of this wall, not blind your teammates, but it is going to destroy anyone in a position like this. Or if I'm more worried about kind of a pit sight combo or crossfire, I'll move a little bit over to here, and I'm going to do a simple left click throw at these windows. Keep in mind that you are exposed to balcony as you throw this, so make sure you have a teammate either here to hold it for you or just ready to trade if you get killed. Now, as you can see here, this is going to pop up here, and it's going to destroy anyone back here holding any of these pit angles, but it's also going to roast anyone back here on site as well. It's also going to get anyone on Moto. So altogether, it's going to end up looking something like this. You're going to have that left side smoked off. You're going to have porch mollied off for an easy pick. And once your teammates are scaling up lane, well, you can flash the site player to destroy him right off of the angle. So now moving on over to Mirage, I like to keep things simple and go right here into this corner and have a couple of teammates drop me some extra smokes. I'll do a simple jump throw at the very top corner of this building for a window smoke, and then a simple jump throw up and to the right of this window right here for a market door smoke. So that's going to go all the way up here. First one's going to land inside the window and completely smoke it off, and the second one's going to land right here in front of door, smoking this position off as well. And of course, from that same exact position, if you're worried about cat, well, you can do a simple left click throw on the left side of this building, and that's going to go all the way out here, and it should bank off of this building and completely smoke out this area here of cat. Now that one is very easy to throw, but it is a little bit further up than I prefer. What I usually do instead is I'll go into that same spot, pretty much do the same lineup, maybe a little bit up and to the left for good measure, and I'll do a left and right click jump throw. And this one lands even faster by banking right here and completely smoking off this position way deeper to where you have a bit more space to work with. So right after I've thrown all three of my smokes like a human mortar, I'm typically going to go right here into this position. I'm gonna look alongside this post, and I'm gonna do a run jump throw just before I hit it at this window right here. Now that flash, the reason I like throwing that instead of just throwing it right over is the fact that it goes way deeper to where even someone holding under like this is going to get destroyed without any time to react whatsoever. Now, of course, I definitely recommend one of your teammates as they're running up to either throw a molly through here for back bench or mollying the backside of van here so that any cheeky CTs that are holding angles like that get burned out as a part of the hit. So since in the previous solo execute video that I made, I showed off how to do this sort of upper site execute, where you end up mollying hut, mollying backside, and throwing a couple of team safe flashes for your friends to push through on. I'm going to show something outside instead to help you get towards secret and pressure B. So since anytime I ever solo queue on Premier or Face It, none of my teammates ever know any smokes, a lot of times I'll just get them to drop them all into this corner. I'm going to stand right here along this line, and I'm going to throw one smoke out to the left of this light a little bit. I'm going to throw the other one right on the right side of it, and then another smoke at the very top of this rail. So what that ends up doing is you have a top hut smoke that's going to spill all the way down. You're going to have another smoke right here and another one a little further out for the outside slant smokes that you can cross down to secret off of with a ton more cover. And of course, after I'm done throwing all of these smokes for my team, typically I'm just going to walk up towards this fence row. And once my guys are ready to go out and push with these smokes, I'm just going to do a nice little run throw at this little metal piece to where it's going to go on the back side of this red box, or this blue box rather, and it's going to full blind anyone on the opposite side while not blinding my teammates. This is especially helpful if you expect someone's back here behind this position, or maybe they're pushing through the smoke. It's just a nice little supportive flash you can throw that has no real downsides. So since most of my teammates are competent enough to smoke off back sight, or maybe molly off headshot, something simple like that, a lot of times what I'll do as a part of an execute is I'll get stuck into this corner right here, and I'm going to throw 3 pieces of utility that are very important. The first of which is I'm going to go up from this light all the way up to the bar, and I'm going to do a simple jump throw. And that is going to land up here in the rafters. It's going to spill down and completely smoke off this area of elevator. Right after I throw that, I'm then going to look towards the bottom of this corner right here, and I'm going to do a W jump throw with a Molotov, and that's going to go all the way up here, and it's going to fully molly off the entirety of heaven, as well as this area right here, so no one can peek or push back in, so they're going to be either stuck out here towards cat or back behind it. And right after I throw that molly, I'm just going to aim right here to the left of this line and do a simple jump throw with a flashbang, and that's going to go on the opposite side of this pillar, and as your teammates are pushing up here, it's not going to full blind them, but it's going to destroy anyone here, and it's also going to wreck anyone that's out here on cat. So it's a super safe flash to throw for your teammates, and it's going to destroy most of the positions you're going to have to worry about. So here's a bird's eye view of an ideal scenario of how this would work out. In this example, you're going to have the heaven player getting mollied off. He has to fall back down towards cat, and then of course those flashes come in, absolutely wreck him for an easy frag. So yeah guys, those were solo executes for every single map on Counter-Strike 2. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like or even consider subscribing. I put a lot of work into this one, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support me, go ahead and click that Skins Monkey link down in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one.